Social Security is one of the biggest decisions you'll make in retirement, and the age you claim it changes everything. For some retirees, the lifetime difference can reach $200,000 or more. That's not bad luck. That's math. The same math financial advisors charge $300 an hour to explain. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what each claiming age really costs you. The one number called the break-even age that almost nobody talks about, and the strategy that works for most retirees, even if you can't afford to wait until 70. Here's what most people get backwards. They think Social Security is just free government money, so the age you claim it doesn't matter much. It matters more than almost any other decision you'll make in retirement. Claim too early, and you lock in a smaller check for the rest of your life, even if you live to 95. Wait too long, and you might leave money on the table if you don't live long enough to catch up. The difference between the best and worst choice for an average earner can be well over $200,000. We're going to cover 3 things today. First, what 62, 67, and 70 actually pay you, side by side. Second, the break-even age, the number that tells you who really wins. And third, the one mistake that costs couples the most, and almost nobody sees it coming until it's too late. Let's meet Robert. He's 62, he's tired of his job, and Social Security estimates say he'll get $1,800 a month if he claims right now. That sounds pretty good. Money in the bank starting today. But here's what Robert doesn't realize. That $1,800 is a permanently reduced check. Social Security doesn't just pay less at 62 temporarily. It locks that reduced amount in for the rest of his life, with only cost of living increases from that point forward. If Robert had waited until 67, his full retirement age, that same benefit would have been $2,571 a month. Wait until 70, and it climbs to $3,188 a month. Think about that gap. Robert's monthly benefit is about 77% higher if he waits until 70 instead of claiming at 62, for identical work history, identical earnings. The only variable is age. Why does the government structure it this way? Start earlier and you generally receive smaller checks for more years. Wait longer and you receive larger checks for fewer years. In theory, it evens out. In practice, most people don't know where the actual break-even point sits, and that's where the real decision-making happens. Here's the number most people never calculate. For someone with a normal life expectancy, the break-even age between claiming at 62 and claiming at 70 is usually around 80 to 81. In other words, if you live past 80, waiting until 70 wins. If you don't, claiming early wins. So the real question isn't which age is technically bigger. It's how long do you expect to live, and how much guaranteed income do you want locked in either way. But here's where it gets interesting, because there's a second number hiding in this decision that almost nobody talks about. Here's something most retirees never hear from a financial advisor. For eligible retirees, delaying benefits after full retirement age can increase the monthly benefit by about 8% per year, up to age 70. That's a benefit increase, not an 8% investment return. It's not tied to the stock market, and it's not tied to interest rates. It's a fixed increase built into the rules for every year you wait between your full retirement age and 70. That's a meaningful increase compared to what many other guaranteed options offer a retiree. It's not a CD, it's not a bond, and it's not an annuity with fees attached. It's simply a larger government-paid check for the rest of your life. Waiting, when you can afford to, is one of the more reliable ways to boost guaranteed retirement income. That's the catch, of course. Not everyone can afford to wait. If you need the income at 62 to cover your bills, that benefit increase doesn't help you pay rent this month. But here's the trap. A lot of people claim early out of fear. Fear the program will run out of money. Fear they'll die before they get their share. Not because they actually need the income yet. And that fear costs them tens of thousands of dollars over a normal retirement. The fix isn't always wait until 70, no matter what. The fix is knowing your real number. Pull up your Social Security statement, look at your estimated benefit at 62, at 67, and at 70, and compare that against how much guaranteed income you actually need to cover your essential expenses. If you have other savings that can bridge the gap for a few years, delaying even partially, say to 67 instead of 62, can add tens of thousands of dollars in guaranteed income over your lifetime. And this next trap? This is the one that costs married couples the most, and almost nobody sees it coming. Here's the mistake that quietly drains married couples more than any other Social Security decision. When one spouse dies, the household generally does not continue receiving 2 full retirement benefits. The surviving spouse may qualify for a survivor benefit based on the deceased spouse's record, depending on the Social Security rules. That means the claiming decision isn't just about one person's lifetime income. It's about protecting whichever spouse lives longer. Let's go back to a couple, David and Susan. David is the higher earner. If David claims early at 62 to get money flowing sooner, that locks in a smaller check. And that smaller check can shape what Susan is eligible to receive as a survivor benefit if David passes away first. If David instead delays to 70, he locks in a larger benefit, which can mean a stronger survivor benefit for Susan for the rest of her life, no matter how many years she outlives him. This is why, in a lot of 2-income households, the strategy isn't both spouses claim at the same age. It's often smarter for the higher earner to delay as long as possible, supporting a stronger survivor benefit, while the lower earner claims earlier to bring in some income sooner. That combination can help protect a household from a big income drop after losing a spouse, which is exactly the moment expenses like housing and healthcare don't shrink nearly as fast as income does. So here's the bottom line. Claiming at 62 gives you money sooner, but permanently locks in a smaller check. Waiting until 70 increases your benefit by roughly 8% a year between full retirement age and 70. And the break-even age for most people sits right around 80, meaning the right answer depends on your health, your other income, and, if you're married, protecting whichever spouse lives longest. Here's your homework for this week. Go to ssa.gov, create your free account, and pull up your actual estimated benefit at 62, at your full retirement age, and at 70. Write those 3 numbers down side by side. That 10-minute step will tell you more about your real retirement income than almost any advice video, including this one. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more retirees find this exact math. And if you want more videos breaking down the real numbers behind retirement decisions, hit subscribe. Now drop a comment below. What age are you planning to claim? 62, 67, or 70? Type the number. I read every single comment. And if you want to know the exact order to pull money from your accounts so you keep more of it away from the IRS, watch the video right here. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.